All right, so welcome. My name is Paul Young. I'm corporate chef for Kraft Heinz Company. Been with Joanne here for about 10 years. I'm excited for our last installment of In Culinary for the year. In Culinary, of course, is a network where we highlight a group of vetted chefs, basically chefs that are not assholes. That's right. And we get together, we cook, we laugh, we cry. I got the tissues right here, chef, don't worry. We're gonna pull some stuff out of you today. And I don't know about y'all, but this already smells amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for my main man, Chef DeAndre Carter. Give it up.
What's up, Paul?
How you doing tonight, man?
Man, I'm good. Yourself?
Dude, I'm here with you for the last one of the year. This is like amazing. We're supposed to do this like a month ago. It got pushed back.
Yep.
I'm buzzing. Soul and Smoke. Real quick, how the hell did you start this little empire you got going on, man? How did that all come to fruition?
Man, it's just, just having passion for food, my upbringing, food I grew up eating, being able to like share it, my cooking journey, throughout the story, it kind of like started in one direction. It started in one direction and kind of ended up in another one. So it's just pretty much just like following your dream and just, being real focused on it.
Awesome. I love it.
Thanks, man.
We're going to get into this in a little bit, but this is why I love Chef DeAndre. All right, hold on. So, Chef, before we get down to business, tell us what you're cooking tonight. Tell us what you got already going on in that pot and kind of the culinary journey you're going to take us all on tonight.
All right, so tonight I'm going to demo our smoked chicken gumbo. What I got in the pot already is the chicken stock and the Holy Trinity. Holy Trinity is pepper, celery, onion. I wanted to get that going because it takes a while to bring that stuff up to a temp, so I wanted to be ready by the end of the conversation.
Awesome. Hey, sorry, quick technical difficulties. Can we check his mic? Can you say something, Chef?
Mic check 1, 2, 3. Mic check 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Can everybody hear
Got
him?
it. Yep.
Got it. You guys in back can hear him, that's all that, that is all that matters. Ooh, it's when I come over here, huh? Okay, I'll stand right here. I'm not gonna move for the rest of the night, Chef. All right, so tell us what you got going on here. What did you start with? Oh my God, I feel like that steam is giving my soul a hug right now. Hey, Soul and Smoke, you should name your restaurant that.
What was the question?
So what'd you start off with here, Chef? Tell us all about your, we're making gumbo.
Yeah, we're making gumbo. So we're making gumbo. Can you guys hear me? Yes, sir. All right, cool. So to start the gumbo that we serve here at Soul and Smoke, I'll start off with a fresh chicken stock. And then I got a little bit of Holy Trinity up in here. So in this pot, we have 12 quarts of chicken stock and about 10 quarts of Holy Trinity. It's gonna get even better. So right now, just like I said, you got the stock, you got the Trinity, and I like to add the spices in there. So we got a little bit of my Cajun rub up in there. It's about 30 grams. And then we got some ground black pepper. So 50 grams of ground black pepper.
Oh, man.
And then I like to add the gumbo filet, which is the ground sassafras leaves. That's really traditional with making gumbo. I'm gonna just add those spices in right now.
That's all that.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, now I always have this conversation with other chefs, right? Is a gumbo really a gumbo without the gumbo filet in it?
It's probably not a real gumbo. I don't know. Most traditional. Well, a lot of chefs are, really creative these days. So, I can't say what it is to that individual, but I like to always start off with tradition first, and if I can add a little twist to it, I like to do it that way.
100%, I agree. That looks dang amazing. So let's talk Soul and Smoke for a little bit.
Okay.
We're going to Tarantino this bad boy. We're going to start with today. We're going to go back to the beginning. the beginning, like before you were even born. Then we're gonna jump around. How many Soul and Smoke locations are there today, Chef?
Today we have 4 Soul and Smoke locations. 4 Soul and Smoke locations. So the main location is based in Evanston. That's our flagship location. That one's under construction right now. It's gonna be our first 4C restaurant. And I like to say our first restaurant because when people like have these, a goal to get to, and if we just go way back to 2013, that's when I quit my job in 2012, and that's when, we took a gamble on ourselves hosting these underground dinners. And honestly, Soul and Smoke wasn't the priority back then. It was just food I grew up eating, food I knew how to make. My true goal and passion was like to open like the fine dining restaurant. So we had this pop-up underground series called Feast and Vibe, where I would take like creative presentations and present like easy food. So say for instance like the brisket sandwich would be in the shape of a cigar. You would dip it in the ash and eat it. You would get like an ahi tuna poke push-up. You would get like a black eyed pea hummus in a garden pot. Edible squash blossom. So it'd be food that people are familiar with, but it would be a fun presentation behind that. And it was going really good. We started off at our apartment hosting underground dinners, and that back then when people say you starting out your apartment, that was the thing. In 2010, 2012, 2013, you had places like Honey Butter Fried Chicken. They used to be called Sunday Dinner Club. You had who else you had? You had Elizabeth. You had 42 Grams, and then you had us, Feast and Vibe. So that was a time in Chicago where a lot of chefs was, gambling on themselves, betting on themselves. A lot of people didn't have like finances. So, they had the talent, but they didn't have the finances. So they were just hosting these dinners, and a lot of those places became successful. A lot of those places got Michelin stars, got full-blown restaurants. And with us, we kept it on the catering side because, when we was hosting those underground dinners and the pop-up dinners, people was like, yo, you can do this at your crib. Can you come and do it at our house as well? And the answer was like always yes. But Heather and I, we come from fine dining background, so we was always trained to say yes and figure it out for the customer. And it kind of just, that saying yes led us to right now, honestly. Just that passion, that drive. And one thing I always like to include with the story, that first 7 years, by the way, we like on our 11th year being like independent, just dreaming, going really hard every day, going through the ups and downs. But our first 7 years, we really didn't take no days off. We really, it became a lifestyle. People were like, man, how do you guys work that much? I remember working with certain wedding planners and, other people in the catering industry, like, yo, you guys need to, slow down. You guys need to do this and you guys need to do that. And it was like, what are you talking about? We trying to see some shit come to life. But, it's different strokes for different folks.
You should come up with a slogan that says something cool like just do it. Just probably.
Right. So the question is like pretty much how we keep up with the years. It's like, the way I look at it is just me. The way I look at like starting anything that anybody's passionate about is always like a starting idea point from it. So like, say for instance, like with me, I went to Le Cordon Bleu here. I worked at Moto Restaurant, I worked at that restaurant for 4 years, and then I never missed a day of work in 4 years. And it was just like that part of like being committed to, my responsibility. And that has nothing to do with like anything but just like me, myself being committed to like what I'm doing. So those same values and morals, like was the same thing when we started Feast and Vibe, the underground dinners. Like when I say we didn't miss a day for 7 years, I didn't say like, oh, we worked like all day for 7 years. It was some sense of work getting done like every day. And then that some sense of work getting done became like just part of like normal life, So when I wake up every day, even when I wake up today, I never feel like I'm going to work. I feel like I'm getting through my day when I open my eyes. When I wake up, I go through my day because it's not like work. It's just something I'm doing, working towards every single day. So I really don't never look at work like it's work, even though I know it's work, but I don't look at it that way. I just look at it like, you know, I got my eyes on the goal and I need to see what I'm imagining come to life. And so I wake up every day and I work towards that.
How come nobody's giving it up for that shit right there?
Yeah.
I need to like bring this guy everywhere with me and be my hype guy, man. Like, whew, I feel inspired because I don't want to go to work tomorrow. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's all good. All right. So, by the way, I'm available for work. I'm just kidding. So chef, hold on. First of all, what?
Yeah.
I said you put some stuff in the pot here.
Yeah, so this is an update what's going on in the Rondo right here. Rondo is, you know, I like to use the Rondo. It's more surface space. It's a really heavy duty pot, and it's what a lot of chefs, restaurants use in the restaurant kitchen space, so I just use this. So pretty much what I just added, after the chicken stock and the vegetable was the spices, which I think I mentioned already, the Cajun seasoning, the ground black pepper, and the gumbo filet. And now I just added some roasted chicken sausages to the gumbo. So this gumbo is an all chicken gumbo. And the reason I did it like that, because I needed to balance the menu. Like when I first put gumbo on the menu, we did the traditional pork andouille. But then when you got rib tips, you got pulled pork, you got spare ribs, you know, you don't want to just overload people with pork. So I was like, yo, I needed like a really nice chicken option. So I found a guy to make me a chicken andouille. And then I add, once everything comes together, I'm gonna add this smoked chicken thigh that I cubed up in there. So a lot of customers appreciate it. I thought it was a nice way to balance the menu.
Damn. I'm drooling in my bombers over here. Come on, baby. How'd you get into cooking? Was there somebody in your family that was like, you were tugging at their apron strings, you know, the violin started in the background as you tell the story, right? Like, was it like your grandmother, or were you just like, no, this seems cool, right? I mean, like, for me, my mom was a horrible cook, so that made me want to learn how to cook, right? Like, honestly, like, I remember, like, even if my mom watches me cook, like, she'll come over for Thanksgiving. She's gonna come over this year, and she'll be like, "Oh my God, are you putting that much salt in that?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I don't ever put salt in anything. It's spicy to me." I'm like, "Jesus Christ, right?" So, who taught you how to cook, and or why did you start cooking?
Well, let me see how to explain this, because when I first started cooking, we just go back to, I'm my grandmother's oldest child, so I'm grandma's baby. So every weekend, every chance I get, I go to my grandma's house. And she would, you know, wake up and she making, you know, breakfast, she prepping lunch, you know, getting desserts ready for dinner. She's trying to get everything done, like in the morning time, you know. So while she getting everything done, I just wake up and just go down there with grandma. She got the radio on. I'm getting to try things out. I'm the oldest. It's just like spending that time around. So cooking was just like part of my life. But my first cooking job was at Olive Garden out on Torrance. And we just going out. It was one of my auntie's birthday, and my mom was like, "Yo, what a manager, my son need a job. You know, you about to fill this application out right now." You know, I'm like, so I'm like, okay, cool. You know, I'm like, whatever, I fill out the application. Yeah, I'm thinking like they not gonna call me, but they called me back, you know, so they called me back. Now I gotta go because my mom watched me fill out this application. So I go back, and then they put me like on a saute station, you know. I was brand new to like restaurant cooking. I knew how to do home cooking, but restaurant cooking was different. So I'm at Olive Garden, I'm getting crushed every weekend. Didn't really know what I was doing to those guys. Like really, you know, I was like the youngest one at the time. I was probably like 18, 19 years old. These guys like 27, 30. And they saw that I was struggling with the station, you know. So the main thing I was really struggling with was just staying organized and just dealing with like a high volume restaurant like that. You know, you got pasta slinging all day, grill, you know, whatever, shrimp. But anyway, this guy came over there, pretty much showed me the ropes of how to control chaos. And once I was able to grab like a rush, I think I fell in love with that first. I fell in love with just being in control of some chaotic shit. You know, it's like a lot of things going on, people yelling, and then you just like grabbing that energy and just being in control of the energy, man. And every Saturday, I looked up to it like, man, we about to crush it. You guys ready? You guys ready? Then I never forgot that, because when the new people come in, I would do the same thing that a guy did for me. I would show them the ropes, show them how to deal with, you know, pressure, high volume, just pretty much staying organized and staying prepped out. And from there, shit, I was like, yeah, I want to cook for real. Like, they bagging up all the pastas and the sauces, and, you know, I really want to make, so we used, at the Olive Garden, we signed up to be a cook. You ain't really making nothing. You get what I'm saying? You heating the food up. You know, you heating the food up and you making sure it's go out to the customer hot. But I wanted to learn how to make fresh pasta. I want to learn how to make sauce, because now I'm really into it. Now I'm really curious, and it just went from there. Then I just signed up for culinary school. Man.
When that Olive Garden saw his application, they're like, we got another sucker!
Yeah.
Right? We will get back on it. And remember,
Yeah,
dude, I'm just thinking, like, I started cooking like in restaurants when I was 19, and like, yeah, like the 28-year-olds, you're like, this dude's old, man. He knows everything.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, how old are you?
Crazy.
28? Can you drive yet? Like,
It was crazy.
You're so young, right? That's hilarious, man. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that story. So, one thing I want to talk to you about, because being a chef is hard, right? It's like you said, it's a lifestyle. So, wife, business partner, 2 kids at home, 4 restaurants. How in the, dude, I got like one job, one place, and I got some kids, and I can barely do that. How do you keep it all together and make sure that your customers are getting the best quality food that they can get, your kids are getting the best dad at home that they can get? How the hell do you balance that? And this isn't, you guys can go do whatever, I just want to know.
Yeah, definitely got a great wife, a great partner. But she, like, we all in it, yo. We all in it. I feel like the kids was like born in it. But as far as like how do we manage everything? So like I mentioned before, like Everson is our flagship restaurant. It's also our commissary. So that's why I'm mainly there every single day. And then we got 2 delivery drivers that, you know, deliver to our Rockwood location, our West Loop location, then also with food truck season happening. There's a lot of things going on with that. And then also with Soldier Field. To me, I guess saying it sounds like a lot, but when like you in it, it really, I don't know, I guess we built up to this point where I feel kind of comfortable like where we at, and the goal is to grow even more. You know, my goal is to be the, you know, the face of barbecue and comfort food. And just saying like that barbecue word, you know, when people say like soul and smoke, that the name is like soul and smoke. It's not like just smoke. You get what I'm saying? It's not like about barbecue. It's about like the comfort food that we really care about, and I'm trying to do at our highest quality as well. But when the magazine and the news talk about it, it's always just barbecue first, and I guess that's what everybody used to, so I'm fine with it. But I try to bring like barbecue southern, local, quality experience to the customers. Like that is genuinely my goal. I want to try to do barbecue, comfort food on the highest level that we can, and that people can afford to like buy it. You know, right now I'm really focusing on like the farmers, the Midwest. I'm really focusing on. I know my big goal is to be like the, you know, one of the faces of barbecue in Chicago. But when people come in, I want people to already know. Like they come to Chicago, you trying to soul and smoke. You guys trying what's around Chicago. You trying, like my beer is like made by a Chicago brewery, and the beers that I carry is made by other Chicagoans. You know what I'm saying? Like the pork is coming from like Midwest. I got brisket coming from Iowa, mac and cheese coming from Wisconsin. Corn, you know, my cornmeal is made, you know, in Southern Illinois. I'm really trying to like highlight what's around me. Like it's soul and smoke, but we in the Midwest, and trying to like highlight all that. I feel like I got sidetracked on the question, but
I don't remember it either, dude. I don't know, man. When you talk, chef, I'm just.
No, it's all good because I don't get a chance to say what's on my mind a lot of times because sometimes you just like be in, once you like be into something, you just like your whole lifestyle is just like into it. But back to the original question, we watch everything because everything get made in Everson. I'm there every day. We testing things. Sometimes the staff might make a mistake of overcooking something or doing something the wrong way, but it'd be a minor mistake that we can like work together and fix. As far as like my kids, my honest schedule to today is I wake up, get my kids ready for school, Heather drops them off, I go to the gym, I'll be at work by 10:30, 11. Work from 11 to 6:37, I'm back home with the kids, get an hour's TV or a game playing with them, and we all in the bed by 9 o'clock, all of us.
That's awesome.
And get the rest, and then we back at it. And in order to get to that point, it's just like trusting the staff, trusting the team, and people being reliable. But that's where we are today, it's wintertime. Summertime, I might have to stay up a little bit later, you get what I'm saying? So, but right now, we all in the bed early, we do things together, we go out. It's just, I don't know. It might sound weird, but this is what my life built up too. And my kids, like I said, they 6. My oldest is 6. My youngest is 3. We've been doing this business for 11 years. It's what it is. We try to get in the best life that we can.
That's awesome. They were born into it, man. It's normal life for them, right? Like,
yeah.
Oh my God, this smells so damn good. So, is this almost done right now? What else you got to throw in there, Chef? The smoked chicken.
Yeah.
Grab
This real quick.
All right, so while you're throwing in the smoked chicken,
so,
what is this?
No. So I like to assemble everything together. So the sausage, I kind of got to explain why so we slice the sausage, the chicken sausage first, then we roast them. I kind of try to concentrate the chicken flavor, so I want them to be dried out a little bit. And then I'll put them in a liquid to rehydrate back up in the liquid, and that flavor goes out into the liquid. Then once the flavor from the garlic, the spices, the sausage, all that stuff comes together. We normally simmer this 45 to 30 minutes in the restaurant on low heat. Then I add the roux, I thicken up all that flavor together, and then I kind of mellow it out, add in the chicken, then I add my salt in at the end. And the reason we add the salt in at the end, because we had mistakes before, we add the salt in first, and it's steam like the way it is, reducing down, it can become salty. So I always like to add the salt in at the end, because that way I'm in control on how much salt, everybody else tastes.
So is that the roux in your hand right now?
Yes, this is the roux.
Hold on, everybody. This is proper, okay?
Yeah.
Because if I'm being honest, I was like, I wonder what it's kind of like. Look at that roux. It looks like he's dumping Willy Wonka's chocolate factory river that Augustus Gloop almost drowned in. The original, by the way.
Yeah.
Gene Wilder. Look at that.
So
that's beautiful. How long does it take you to make that roux? A solid hour or what?
If you're making this amount, it might take an hour, but we made 10 times this. So sometimes it takes 2 days. It probably take the whole 8 hours of somebody's worship. They would come in, they would start the roux, they would have it on low heat, and they just keep checking it. And the way we make our roux, we use just all-purpose flour, and we use an olive oil blend. One of my cooks came to me the other day, he's like, Chef, you said it's a roux, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, why you don't got butter in there? I was like, because the roux takes so long. If I was using butter, it would burn everything up. And I use roux for my shrimp, for the shrimp and grits. But for the gumbo, we just use oil and flour, and kind of just let it do its thing, keep on checking on it.
That's awesome. So if you use butter in that, it would start to burn up, right? Because it can only handle so much heat.
It would definitely try to burn up. And just a tip at home, if you guys are about to make some gumbo, definitely make the roux a day ahead. You want to get things going when it's time. When people are hungry, they don't want to wait around for that roux. Just have the roux made, just, have it around.
So gumbo is one of those things when my wife says, hey, can you make gumbo? Dinner's in 25 minutes. Can you make that quick? You're a chef. Can you do it? Should I not do that then?
Unless you know some tricks, I don't know.
No, man, I don't. All right, so let's talk about, since you kind of mentioned it, let's talk about your products a little bit. So you got your soul and smoke, barbecue sauce, you got seasoning spice, you got beer. So damn, how do I get this stuff, right? Can I open up this barbecue sauce and take a taste?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah,
I'll pay you for it after the show.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
$70. Shit,
I'm
that's
just,
a lot of money.
I'm gonna charge it as a marketing expense. But yeah, let's talk about the retail. So the retail, so we got our barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce in this barbecue rub is available at all Mariano's, also at all the locations. It's available online as well.
Oh, that's good.
It's good. So when I developed the recipe, it literally took us about 3 months to get it where I wanted it at. So like growing up on the south side, I grew up on the south side of Chicago, and I didn't grow up with no tangy sauce, no gold sauce, no Alabama white sauce, none of that. You know, I kind of like learned about those different types of sauces, you know, as I got more in my cooking career. You know, all I knew about at the time was Kansas City style sauce. You know, the KC masterpiece and stuff like that. That was just barbecue sauce. It was never like no classification on, you know, what kind, you know, these different varieties. Make a long story short, when it was time to develop a soul and smoke barbecue sauce, I knew that I was going with a Kansas City style sauce. Kansas City style sauce, the characteristics of it, it's gonna be thick, it's gonna be tangy, it's gonna be slightly sweet. You know, that's what I grew up eating. And then I added things like in my sauce, I wanted to make it a little bit complex. But not too complex where if somebody tried it, they wouldn't identify it as a Kansas City style barbecue sauce. So I added things like, you know, ginger in there. We got a little bit of pineapple in there. We got some Thai chilies in there, you know, just to, you know, make it a little bit different. So when people try the sauce, like, it's good. You know, it's familiar, it's good, but it's different all at the same time. So that's what I was really going for when we made the sauce. But now I do got sauces like gold sauce. You know, I do got a tangy sauce. I'm working on an Alabama sauce. You know, I'm also working on my Cajun rub that's about to get bottled next. And then also a lemon pepper. And then I also want to do a mild sauce too. You know, then the sauces I grew up, you know, eating.
All right, so I got a question for you. First of all, Chef, you didn't see it. I took a straight up swig of that sauce.
Yeah, I saw you.
I'm about to, I was like, this will be funny and stupid. I'm about to drink that whole damn thing. No, it's delicious, man. For $70, it could be yours. So smoked chicken's going in.
Yeah.
So Chef, I got a question for you about your barbecue. Now there's like, you know, Kansas City style, Memphis style, Carolina style. Like what is your barbecue kind of mirror any of those, or is it just your own thing? Like, and how do you view that whole world, right?
Okay.
He's like, damn.
Nah, because I get that question a lot.
I bet you do, yeah.
I get it, you know, people are like, oh, people, you know, who don't know me or whatever, like, man, what's Chicago style barbecue? You know, what's Texas style barbecue? So, you know, my complete answer is like, oh, Chicago style barbecue, we really never got identified as like a style. You know, some people say you look it up, some people say like sauced up meats, but to me it was always about the rib tips and the hot links, you know. That was barbecue to me, you know. Honestly, I didn't really grow up like having like brisket inside my local like rib shack, you know. It was just like, you know, you're getting the rib tips, you're getting the hot link, you're getting the fries, you're getting the bread on top. But again, what I'm trying to do is just really just showcase Midwest. Like people, what kind of barbecue Soul and Smoke do? I gotta say Midwest because the ingredients I'm using, and you know, if you say like, what's Texas? Like, what is Texas barbecue? You know, is it salt and pepper and brisket and sausage? You know, is that like, what is Texas barbecue? What is you know, what is St. Louis barbecue? Is it just the rib and the loose sauce? You know, so
Sure.
I think it's a mix of everything. But I wish we could have like our own style. We can work together. But to me, like again, rib tips, high links, those are Chicago staples.
You know what? When you are the face of barbecue in Chicago, it'll be Chicago style barbecue. And Memphis and Kansas City, they could all suck an egg, right?
Yeah.
People don't say that anymore. Suck an egg. So I was just sorry. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. Okay, so you know, I was just having this conversation with my boy Charlie. He's walking around here. He's helping out tonight. And he was wondering, he's like, so like, what do you guys do here? And I was like, well, I interview a chef and blah, blah, blah. So I started talking, then I was talking to you, and I said, did you see that Phil Wingo's here?
Yeah.
Right? Like, well, guys, if you don't know, that's Phil Wingo, the guy in the cool ZZ Top beard. He's a barbecue legend. So what I love about the barbecue world, and I've had brushes with it, right? I'm by no means a pit master, but like Phil, like famous Dave Anderson, like I don't remember the guy's name off the top of my head right now, but the guy that owns Smoke.
Oh, right.
Eric. Yes, thank you. He seemed like y'all seem to be like in this
that
cool.
Stock back, but bring it. Nah, I don't need the lid, but
Hold
just
on,
the
guys.
stock. But
Hold
bring
on.
it like in the bring it in the deli cup.
Yeah, don't come back. I'm just kidding. Good job, man. I like your hoodie. I'll buy it off you for $3 American. In the alley, 20 minutes. So the barbecue world is kind of cool, right? Like it's not, like, you know, like you worked in fine dining restaurants, like it's really dog eat dog, right? Like real competitive.
Yeah.
And the barbecue world just seems to be like this great big happy family, right? Like, yeah, you guys might talk a little smack up behind each other's back if somebody's real bad, but I mean, my God, like for you guys to like, it's just sharing ideas and sharing the love of the cook, right? Because it's like, especially on a smoker, no two cooks are exactly the same, and like, you guys are like gurus, man. So like, what's that like? Well, I mean, like, how do you embrace that world? I mean, seems pretty amazing.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. And I think like my first kind of like taste of that is being invited to Windy City Smokeout. Being invited to like that big barbecue fest where you got like all these top pit masters like all across the country like come through, and it's like, man, it was like nothing I didn't expect. Like you said, the fine dining is very like dog eat dog. Get your shit done. It's on you. If you don't, you can't fucking like hang with us as far as like on the cooking level. The barbecue world is a lot different, man. It's just like it's very, bro love. Sis love, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's very like sharing, and it felt good when I first went to the, Windy City Smokeout, and the guy's like, man, what you need? How you guys doing this? Try that, So I definitely agree with that. And yeah, what I'm thinking is one more thing I wanted to add about the Chicago style barbecue. A lot of, and what also was kind of like different for like not only just me, but a lot of other guys that's doing like barbecue in Chicago. But if you also look up Chicago style barbecue, you also get like the aquarium, aquarium smokers.
Yeah.
Where they got like the fire right underneath, and you got like the glass box. So a lot of people consider that a Chicago style barbecue thing. Okay. But like so the smoker, I don't know if it's considered like a Texas thing, but we do use an offset smoker where the heat. So the main difference between the aquarium smoker and the smoker that I usually got like the direct heat. You got like the heat coming from like the bottom versus the offset. Like the heat is coming from the side of you, and the smoker is literally like cooking the meat. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I think that's really important when it comes to like barbecue cooking.
Agreed.
Versus that direct heat versus like that offset, heat smoker. That's how you get a quality product. A good smoker, I think you're gonna get some good results as well. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that.
No, that's awesome because that's what this is all about, right? It's like learning to cook and like how you're doing it, why you're doing it, what you got in your hand, chef. It's either lemonade or chicken stock or white wine.
Just a little bit more stock, yeah.
A little bit more stock?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, really thickened it up a little bit too much for you, huh?
Yeah.
That's all good. All right, so I got a question for you. So you get home at 6 o'clock. Wife and kids are.
I'm leaving work at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, you're leaving work at 6. Yeah,
Depends.
Yeah. So when you get home, what's your go-to meal, man? Like, what's your like, man, I can't wait to sit down. Like for me, dude, it's literally white bread, mayonnaise and salami with a bag of chips, dude. Like, that's what my grandmother used to make me when I was a kid. You know what I mean? It's like throwing a little TV. 4 kids screaming in my ear, and I'm like, Dad's tired. No, I'm just kidding. But what's your go-to, man? Like, what's your soul?
Yeah, man, it's changes over time, you know. I feel like you asked me this about 5 years ago. I'll probably tell you like a burger, steak, a chicken sandwich or whatever.
Sure.
But now, man, I'm kind of eating a little lighter, so I'm eating like a lot of, fish, roasted chicken. I really like eating like vegetables and raw protein. I say like the go-to meal in my house, like I do make breakfast for the kids every morning.
Right.
So I remember that, like other day we did like a mac and cheese omelet, for breakfast and like some bacon. Because I was like, man, let's put some cheese in the omelet. I was like, yo, let's put this mac and cheese in the omelet and let's try that. You get what I'm saying? Just like, just doing like fun stuff with the kids. I give them like a protein. And then, so they get like a starch, and I always get them fruit to eat, in the morning. But right now, man, I'm kind of like lighting it up. I snack throughout the day, and then eat something really light, like ramen, salad. I like sushi a lot, but that's not like an everyday meal.
Sure.
I'll say the answer to that is just like eating lighter. These past years. Like, Stacey, or she'll see me snacking on like fruit in the daytime. Because honestly, I'm just trying to stay like energized. Like I'm in my 40s, I got younger kids, so I try to be like conscious on what I eat. Now I just started doing that, so it's nothing I've like really been doing. But yeah, and that's another reason like I really take pride in like the meat that we sell at Soul and Smoke. You guys should never really go get like some garbage meat at Soul and Smoke. Like never. People might complain about all the price, this and that, but I would never go like serve like garbage like meat because I don't eat garbage meat. So I don't know. That's my answer.
I love that.
Yeah.
When you started talking about eating healthy and eating fish and protein, I was like, yeah, me too, right? Yeah. I was starting the day after tomorrow, right? Yeah. And then you said mac and cheese, and I was like, oh, God, yeah, that's more my speed.
Well, every day I do got to taste it. So I do taste through the line every day. I probably do like a spoonful, So I'm tasting like all the food every day, but I'm mindful on the amounts pretty much.
Awesome. What are we doing here, Chef?
Just checking. Yeah.
Oh, you're giving me
See where we at.
A little taste test?
You want to see?
Yeah, hell yeah. Dude, I just took a swig of your barbecue sauce. Do you not think I want to taste your gumbo?
Just want to see where it's at right now. So right now, when I first taste, I'm always like looking for like the texture, seeing like how soupy it's gonna be. So that's the first thing. Like any cook who work with me, they tell me like they like try. So any cook that work with me, try this first.
Slurp it up. Let him eat, okay? Just give me a second. No,
yeah, that's fine. But I always like people like chef like try this, chef. I always like checking for texture first, cause I check it visually. If it's off visually, I won't even like do the taste test because it need to be right visually first. The texture need to be right. I need to see that everything looks the way it's supposed to look, and then I try it. But if everything like look the way I look, and then I try it, then I just go for like balance as far as like seasonings and salt level, and yeah, that's pretty much. Because I'm imagining what's about to go on next, and like how it's gonna look. Everything's going on in my head at the same time when I'm cooking.
When I was working in French restaurants, and I would make a special and it would sell out, I would say, because I'm from the south side of Chicago too, right? Yeah. So I would say, not bad for a kid from the south side of Chicago, right? And dude, that is not bad for a kid from the south side of Chicago. Bro, I can't wait for you all to try this out, man. It's gonna be amazing. That's real good, damn.
Yeah,
I'll take 15 of those to go. Thank you very much.
But I think that's what's important when you like make like big batches of stews and stuff like that. Like, I really never want to, because I feel like when you're thickening it up too early, it kind of don't let the spices spread the way they want to spread. I really like it to be really thin, in a really thin state. Then like add, let the spices and, the sauces and the peppers, all that come together. It's all like simmering in harmony. Then I kind of like thicken that up because everything is like in the liquid. You get what I'm saying? If that makes sense?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty much how we do it.
I love it. That's exactly how I explain things. That's amazing. So this is ready to be served here in a couple moments then, right?
Yeah, we're gonna let it go for about 10 more minutes.
10 more
5
minutes?
to 10 more minutes.
We'll stretch this out, man. I got lots of questions, you know what I'm saying? So here's my question to you. What's your favorite thing on your menu at your restaurant? Like, I'm coming in for the first time, DeAndre, right? And I'm like, what am I having? What am I going to eat besides a gumbo? By the way, I just said gumbo and my mouth started watering. It's so good. I swear to God, dude. No, like shake and bake. That's awesome. What am I getting to eat at your restaurant?
Okay. You come to Soul and Smoke. Believe it or not, you know, the first popular thing on our menu was the mac and cheese.
Okay.
That was like the really like most popular thing because people were like, yo, this mac and cheese like just like really good. And yeah, we got to cover some more things. I want to talk about like how we got to the food truck.
Oh yeah. I was joking about stretching it out, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
A food truck.
Yeah, that's my man. Yeah. Yeah, so if you come to Soul and Smoke, I mean, what I like to eat, I like the shrimp and grits. I eat the rib tips literally every single day. You know, I had to order gumbo every single day. Like, she don't get tired of it. She's still ordering every day. But then, like, the hits, like the brisket, the rib tips, the mac and cheese, the cornbread, the collard greens. Yeah, man. I think I like it all.
All right.
But you know what? It's one thing that I really started showcasing more is the pastrami, because that's like a new thing that we really started doing at Soul and Smoke, and I feel like we got some of the best pastrami in the city. So I've really been perfecting that. So I've been doing that in different ways, as you know, sliced sandwiches and then pastrami burnt ends as well. So I really like the flavor on the pastrami.
I'll be there tomorrow. What time do you all open? 10:30? I'll be there at 10:32. Just because I'm assuming traffic will be bad. So, before we get into the food trucks, let's talk about COVID. And I'm assuming it affected you. Obviously, it affected all of us. But business-wise, how did it and did it affect you? And not only that, but how'd you get through it, right? Because I don't know if you all know, but like over 50% of restaurants go under their first year, and the restaurants that survive, over 60% of those that have survived go under the next 3 years, right? So you've been doing this stuff for 11 years. You're obviously doing something right. How the hell did you stand up to COVID and say, no, not me, man?
Dude, yeah, COVID was a battle, man. COVID was a real deal battle. We really didn't know like what to expect, what we was gonna do. We really didn't want to like have to like lay off employees and stuff like that, because they like the key component to like help growing us to like where we got to today. So honestly, we really just started like hopping in, just helping. Like people, you know, we started like donating meals to the hospitals, to the counselors, to the advocacy community, and then it really took off when we started being partners with World Central Kitchen, the Trotter Project, the Advocacy Community Foundation. So all those events that I have with Soul and Smoke. So just to back up a little bit, after when we was doing those pop-ups and those underground dinners, and we finally started like, you know, doing catering at other people's homes, and then like the other people's homes started, then that kind of like transitioned to, you know, big celebrations like birthday parties, weddings. Really the weddings, you know, that same year, 2012, we did like 13 weddings our first year, just by saying yes, and people, you know, liking the food, and we offering something different from what was out there. The goal was to kind of like change the catering scene in Chicago. It was back in 2012, 2013. It wasn't as exciting as it is right now. Like today, I can say it's pretty exciting with so many, you know, talented chefs out there. But at the time, it really wasn't. So we wanted to bring some excitement to the culinary scene. And I say by the time the pandemic happened, we got on like every list that I really desired to be on. You know, we was pretty much on every like really good venue list. And I learned a lot during that time of just like trying to get on the list, you know, because I'm coming from like this fine, I feel like I was coming from like the best restaurant in Chicago. We innovated, you know, the food was good, but then like with the Chicago, as far as like the wedding community, it was a kind of like a different challenge to me, you know, because it wasn't all about the cooking. It was just all about like, networking and, who you're cool with and stuff like that. And it was going on, it was getting frustrating because I felt like, I just spent like all these years, developing my craft, being the best chef I can. And then I want to get on these lists and, represent the food that I'm doing. And if I wasn't your friend, we wasn't getting on their list. So that was getting kind of frustrating. But by the time the pandemic came, I was on all the lists I decided to be on. And then, like I mentioned, the pandemic led us towards like feeding the community. The feeding the community led towards like, yo, we really don't want to stop like operating. Let's get a food truck. And the food truck kind of just took off. Like people during the pandemic was like literally like renting a food truck. They was doing like birthday parties, block parties. People wanted some sense of life. They just didn't want to like be sitting in the crib all day. And then like that food truck gets pretty much led to the ghost kitchen. It's like, okay, well, I gotta back up a little bit because after we got the food truck, then we started doing to go out of Evanston. We started doing to go out of Evanston. We started learning that if you're doing a to-go service, that your food, like anybody who live like 3 to 5 miles outside of your neighborhood, they wouldn't be able to try your food. So then we started hearing about the ghost kitchens. So he's like, man, what if we get a ghost kitchen here? What if we get a ghost kitchen there? And mind you, we just had this catering company, so we got like all this infrastructure. Anybody never been to Evanston before? We got a 10,000 square foot building. We have box trucks, sprinter vans. We have fucking like 25, 30 employees. We had everything you need to feed a lot of people, put it like that. And then, so the ghost kitchen concept come up. So we got a ghost kitchen not too far from this space in the Avondale area. Then we got another ghost kitchen in the South Loop. So after, being in those locations for about like 6, 7 months, these guys asked us over here to like move in because the brand was growing, and that same time, like Soul and Smoke was getting like a lot of hype. We just got awarded 3 stars for the Chicago Tribune.
Awesome.
We was all across Chicago magazine. Any food thing, I felt like we was getting mentioned everywhere, But it was all good. It was getting, the general public pretty much used to us. So our Avondale's Ghost Kitchen turned to our Rockwell on the River location, which we set up in the hall over here. So it's like people come here, they can literally eat barbecue on the river. And our South Loop location turned to our Time Out location. So we moved to Time Out. We became the top selling restaurant in the Time Out and that whole little setup.
That's awesome.
And it was real good. It was really good. It was really good. The management, as everybody knows, the management wasn't that great at the time. I heard it's a lot better right now. So we ended up leaving Time Out, and now our new West Loop location is inside the Oaksley train station in Central Towers. So we moved there, and it's just like a better deal. And honestly, that location started off the best out of like pretty much all our locations. And then we ended up getting a second food truck. And then Soldier Field asked us to move in. And then we've been with the Bears, and then, yeah, that's pretty much where it is right now. I know, and what's pretty much next? Next is, we're not gonna build any more locations. We're gonna get Evanston up and going. We're gonna see what's gonna happen with this space over here. Before Lori Lightfoot got an office, she awarded us with a grant for $500,000 that scales up to $5 million for this location. So we literally able to build whatever we want, like in this location. But we just wanna negotiate a little bit more and go from there. And yeah, what's the next thing? Northwestern's building a new football field out in Evanston, and they got a dedicated spot for us out there. So we just like, man, rocking and rolling, just trying to just do quality food and just having fun with it.
Well, damn. I like how you're like, and then the Bears asked us to come in, and that's about it.
Lori messing with you? I was like, I like Lori.
So hold on, man. So how long have you been with the Bears?
This is our second season. This is our second season with the Bears. But yeah, it's been good. It's a lot busier than last season. I can say that. It's been good. It's a new operator, so anytime like it's just being straight up. Like my life, I wake up, I try to take care of my responsibilities, and things happen around your life like all the time. And I think where I'm at today, like anything can happen, man.
It's true.
Anything can happen. Like,
Amen.
you can be up one day, you can be down a day. It's just like, I don't think that's a good leadership, skill, is just being able to balance and just stand like level-headed. Like, to me, life not promised, Yeah. The way I look at life is, I feel like people should make the best out of their life.
Agreed.
Every single day.
100%. 100%.
That's just how it is.
Dang. He's so much better than me in every way. Just a positive outlook on life, kick-ass gumbo, barbecue sauce is banging.
What's they say? Oh,
It's insane.
we about to stop playing.
Oh, we talking over here. We were.
I was looking for you.
Yeah,
we about to start soon.
Yeah, two times. We're about to serve this up?
Yeah.
Yeah? You guys want some gumbo?
Let me tell them something about this gumbo real quick.
All right.
Yeah, just one thing about the gumbo. So, at our restaurant, we serve the same gumbo.
I'm in the way.
But then we serve with Carolina Gold rice. So I get the rice shipped in every week from South Carolina from this farm. But I noticed over the months, so the staff also gets staff meals every day, so they can order stuff off the menu too. So, but I noticed at least half of my staff order the gumbo the way that I'm serving to you guys tonight. So it's the gumbo base that I'm making with mashed potatoes and chives instead of rice. So I thought that was real unique, so I want you guys to try it that way. If people don't eat dairy or, I got rice over on the station, we can swap a little bit of rice out. But I highly recommend just try it this way. I think you guys really gonna like it.
What y'all think of Chef DeAndre's gumbo? Awesome.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Freaking amazing. It was very, very good. Did you have fun tonight, Chef?
Yeah, man, I'm enjoying myself.
All right, that's good. That's good. I did too. So I know you kind of touched on this a little earlier. Guys, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to ask him a couple questions. He's going to answer them, hopefully. And then y'all can ask him some questions if you have any for him. So I always ask this, and you kind of touched on it a little earlier, but what's next for you? Like really, really what's next?
What I want to be next?
Yeah.
You really don't know what's next, right? You just gotta live life, and that's why I learned so many things happen along the journey. I didn't think all this was gonna happen. When I first I left the Olive Garden, I signed up for culinary school, and I worked at Moto, and I didn't know this was gonna happen. I just wanted to have a restaurant. That was that was the seed. The seed was I want to have a restaurant, And honestly, it wasn't a barbecue restaurant. It was man, I want to be I was training in fine dining, so I wanted a fine dining, Michelin star. That was how it started. The goal started that way, and it just kind of went this way. And with me just want to do the best I can with anything that I do, it's just being invested in the way it's going.
So, from what I'm understanding, you're opening up a fine dining restaurant in the next couple of years. Is that correct?
Nah, I'm getting older, man. I started this dream when I was 30 years old.
Yeah, man.
I'm 40. I'm in my 40s now.
I'm 40. I'm in my 40s now. That's exactly how I react. People are like, how old are you? I'm 40. So I'm just shut up.
Nah, I want to scale out Soul and Smoke, but I just want to just fine tune everything. I want to fine tune it. I want to grow it. I want to make sure the people that's helping me having fun doing it. That was another deciding point from going from Feast and Abide to Soul and Smoke. Because when we was doing Feast and Abide, we was doing people's weddings, we was doing private events, the schedule was all over the place. You had staff getting off at midnight, some of them was taking the train and bus home. And honestly, when the pandemic happened and the Soul and Smoke part really started taking over everything, a lot of the staff, I was just listening to them. They all was really enjoying, the way Soul and Smoke was going. So, and then with someone my staff is my friends. you know, because like when you doing something like you super invested in, you know, whatever you invested in, you know, life can take its changes and people change and sometimes people don't understand and you gotta be okay with people not understanding because you gotta finish going the way that you want to go, and that can make people happy. Can make as many people that's happy for me. There's a lot of people that, you know, don't like it as well too. But yeah, so I just look at it like they just don't understand, you know.
Yep, I like it. What advice would you give somebody that's starting off into cooking, maybe they got a seed of an idea of opening up their own restaurant someday? What advice do you give to a young culinarian?
The advice I get I try to like take the culinary out of it because I just try to give like my life experience and basing any advice I give just off my life experience. So the first thing I tell how to cook today, I was talking to today, he's like, yo, you know, we obviously was talking about the election and, you know, talking about like finances and stuff like that. And then I was like, yo, it's just like, life is just, it's kind of simple. So, you know, first of all, you want to find something that you really enjoy doing. That's why I always tell the people I'm around. Find something that you really enjoy doing and just get like really good at that. But I know it sounds simple, like to find something that you enjoy doing and getting good at it, because in order to get good at it, you gotta discipline yourself, you gotta spend time, you gotta do research.
10,000 hours, right?
Yeah.
Is that what they say to
you
your...
gotta stay focused.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta watch the distractions. It's like, it's a lot in the process of being good at something, because you might have to change some of your ways. Some people don't want to do. Some people just, you know, they probably don't want to do that. They probably like the way some of their life is going, and they probably don't want to get rid of like some of that part of life to get good at what they really want to do.
Sure. Good point. And what did a 10-year-old DeAndre want to be when he grew up?
10-year-old DeAndre. I always told myself, so like my grandparents, like I used to have like just a blank, I'm gonna be like Dr. Lloyd, but what I really wanted to do growing up, I wanted to be an electrician, yo. I wanted to fix things. I wanted to fix things that was broken. I wanted to make it work again.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you're making people's mouths water, so that's good with your damn gumbo. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same, you know. Yeah, we're cooking, you know.
You're working with your hands still, right? I mean,
you work with your hands, and then you work with this vision in your head. At least I do. And then like people are like, yo, how did you make that? Like, how do you know it's gonna come out like that? It's like, man, it's like always been like in your head, like, well, in my head, like what I'm aiming for a target. When I'm seasoning, balancing, texture, it's a target in my head with like all that. It's just not like being put together.
Right.
It's like I'm trying to achieve this texture on this chicken, this texture on this gumbo, this spice level, the salt level, the acid level. Like all that is like, it's already premeditated.
I love it. Any questions from the audience? Curiosities? Hippolito Sanchez is here. It's another legend right there. He's the mayor, bro.
Yeah, I know, man.
Favorite candy bar of all time?
Favorite candy bar of all time? Dude, it's the Mr. Goodbar.
I love it.
The Mr. Goodbar is my favorite.
You know what?
Candy bar
Yeah, man, Mr. Goodbar is good. You know what else is underrated? Is 100 grand. Like, I just took my kids trick or treating, and they were like, "Dad, is this good?" And I was like, "It's 100 grand." I took a bite, and I was like, "God damn, this is delicious, man." I forgot how good they were, but Mr. Goodbar falls in that too. How important is it for you to be an upstanding citizen and chef in your community? Is that a big deal to you? Is it just come in, give me your money, it's transactional? I assume you have a lot of regulars, right, at your restaurant. What does that mean to you, and how do you keep that going?
It means a lot to me, you know. It means a lot. And I was just talking to Heather about this morning. I was like, man, y'all, I remember like, you know, just honestly, it's just like helping everybody, just like family, friends, just, part of the process. And then you get to a point when you just like, yo, you're doing too much, or this person not even like putting in the effort, especially like when you work so hard, and then like somebody asks you for something, and you go to IG, you see them in the club, and you not in the club, like that make you feel some type of way.
Yeah.
They able to go and hang out, but then they want to ask. To me, money is time, right?
Right.
Like it's how you spend your time. It's like what you're gonna earn, and that's where that became like a breaking point to me. So I've been like really selective on like who I help, as far as like who I know, because I gotta see that they trying to help themselves before I even attempt to help them. Because I feel like if I help them and they trying to help themselves, it's everybody wasting time right now. Everybody, it's a waste for everybody. As far as the community, I understand what it's like to need help. You get what I'm saying? So just having that level of understanding. I do what I can. I do what I can do without it being like a major effect on me. But if I can do it, I will help. Like right now in Evanston, we got like a community fridge, and like, like say for instance, like the ribs that people order rib tips from us, and we cut off the breastbone, and I season up that breastbone, and I smoke them. I give them barbecue sauce. We get that to the community like every week. We got people the community that helps come together and help other people. And I think like the biggest part of my life, I still like the pandemic has like changed me, like, cause just seeing those people, like, seeing the gratitude from somebody, a stranger, and they're like, yo, like, dude, like, you fucking like care about me, you thinking about like me, like handing out those meals in the pandemic. I seen it, like woke me up to like a lot. You get what I'm saying? Cause I'm literally prepping the food, making the food, and we delivering that, and we like giving it to the. I see the line, like I saw like people waking up in the morning, getting in line for a free meal,
Yeah.
Like I saw that.
That's a lot, right?
So then my staff was seeing it, then we like, yo, this is on point. You just not like putting like I want to make people feel good. I want them to have a meal that like, damn, this was good, man.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. So Smoke, we appreciate that. I think it's very important to help when you can, because just living life is, it's not the same for everybody.
I hear that. Man, I gotta tell you what, this was, when I met you a couple months ago, man, I was like, because Juan's like, hey, could you come in on this day? I want you to do 6 quick interviews. I was like, 6 quick interviews? What the hell are you talking about? And you were like my last one of the day, and I was like, man, you kind of stuck with me, like just for the rest of the day. And I was like, it's amazing how he has such a positive outlook on the business, on other people. Because people are like, oh, everybody's bitching about the bear, and like the TV show, and this is real life for me, and there's these badass chefs and super ego, and you just kind of leave it all at the door, and you're super grateful, super awesome, and you're very quickly like one of my favorite people, man. So I appreciate you being out here tonight and serving your kick-ass freaking gumbo, dude. That is mind-blowing. I told you somebody was like, man, it's not even fair how good this is. So it was awesome, man. But no, thanks for being here.
No problem, man.
It was awesome.
I really, it's like a working process. And this one thing I did talk about, like, I recognize, like, personally, like, along this, like, culinary journey, because it's like, you be focused, like, you focus on, like, it was a time in my life where I just, like, really just focus on just being a dope chef. I don't care shit about nothing else. I'm about to be dope. I'm about to work. I'm about to, I'm about to be great,
Just be you,
Yeah, but then, like, other things happen, life happens,
Sure.
People die, you have kids, and it's like, it's a natural progression. So, like, I tell people all the time, like, first, like, my goal is, like, to be the dope chef. I just want to be the dope chef. Then, as I work towards being a dope chef, like, people who are from my community, people, strangers, everybody's just like, yo, you doing like some cool stuff. I'm like, I'm proud of you. Like, so it kind of like switched for me, just like, oh, I'm about to be this dope chef, to like, oh, people being proud of me like along the way. Then it's like, oh, I just told my kid about you. You know what I'm saying? Like you grew up from the South Side, you're gonna. So then you got like moms telling like the kids. And then I grew up in a single family. Well, my mom was like the only one in the house. You know, it was just me and my brother and my sister. So things like that, I didn't know that was gonna happen. And then it's just like, oh, I had kids, and it's like, oh, I wanted the best life for my kids. And then, you know, I think I told you about, you know, so Soul and Smoke in Evanston, it's not like a community like this. It's like a residential / like industrial. So you got like kids walking back and forth to school, and you know they seeing what's going on. And I was just thinking to myself like, damn, like I never even like it wasn't no small businesses around. It was one small business in my neighborhood, and that was the liquor store.
Yeah.
It was no other small businesses. You get what I'm saying?
Yep,
So you weren't able to see and dream of like, yo, this could be me. So like just me recognizing that and like recognize like everything we done. Like I make an effort to try to at least get to know the kids, you know. Like I talk to them, I ask them like, man, what's your grades? If your grades good, man, you come back, you can get anything off the menu you want, you know. So I try to like motivate the community in that type of way.
That's awesome.
Like motivating the youth and the kids, because I'm like, damn, it was no small businesses like in my neighborhood at all, like at all.
Yeah.
So, but I remember playing bingo on those steals. I remember seeing cars and stuff that I wanted growing up. And I just like hope that the kids could say like, yo, I wanna own my own restaurant. I wanna, you know, own my own like paint shop. And just seeing it, just being exposed to it, I knew that was important. So.
Again, I got to do more with my life. I mean, you're freaking inspiration, man. I mean, seriously, bro. I mean, you're amazing. I think everything you're doing. I truly believe you will be the face of barbecue in Chicago. I think you're in already. You just don't know it yet. So.
The only thing about barbecue is like, barbecue is good, and I feel like I'm like one of the leading concepts as far as like accessibility, because I feel like accessibility. I learned that in catering. I was like, damn, why nobody like talking about what we doing? It's like when we was catering, the feasting and barb, I was getting frustrated because I just put so much time and energy in those dishes, you know what I'm saying, those executions. I was like, damn, it's like getting ignored. And I really didn't like that, but when Soul and Smoke, you know, really started hitting the ground, like everybody was talking about it, and I was just telling like, man, that was the main difference, you know, like somebody can like literally like come in and like try. You didn't have, long story short, you didn't have to be invited to the party to try the craft.
Yeah.
You know, that's when catering, you gotta be invited. Like you're not like trying this out if you're not invited to the party. But it was different. Like soon as like it was literally like 2 or 3 months of just serving the general public that people was like, yo, where you guys been at? Like you came out of nowhere. I was like, no, actually we've been in business for like 5, 6 years right now. It's just, yeah, it was all catering.
I love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, Chef, it's been a damn pleasure. Thank you for being here again tonight. You're the man.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm gonna come by and visit you. Give it up for Chef DeAndre Carter, ladies and gentlemen. The man, the myth, the legend. Go see him at one of his 4 locations. The next time you're at the Bears game. By the way, if you run into any of those Bears players, tell them I said, pick it up.
I know.
All right? I'm sorry, it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Yes, man. The energy started off great this year.
I know it. We all had hope for a couple weeks anyways. All right, thanks again, Chef. Give it up, DeAndre Carter.
Thank you guys. Thanks for coming out, hanging out with us.